So 7.6, we have Frieze patterns. I would encourage that you have your books open because I'm not going to be able to copy down most of these pictures. As you've seen, most of them are quite complicated. I would also probably have your theorem and postulate book handy so that you can look at the letters and what they mean. Page 440. Yeah, 440. Yeah. All right, we're going to start up in number 4. Describe the transformations that map the Frieze patterns onto itself. So definitely translation. Again, I'm not copying the pictures over, huh? 4. Yes, it is all of them. So it's also a reflection. Or sorry, R is not reflection. R is rotation. And then it is a horizontal reflection, because again, it flips top to bottom. And then vertical, flips side to side. And then we also have our horizontal glide reflection. So this one is all of the things. And again, it's probably easier to see if you're looking at the pictures for reference that are on page 438 if you don't have the pictures in your theorem and postulate book. Number 6. It's definitely T. There is a G in there. And it's a glide reflection. What? Yep, definitely rotation. Vertical.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
It doesn't go top to bottom, but it does go left to right. So, yep.
It counts too.
Huh?
That counts too.
Yeah, there's 2 different types of. So we can either reflect over a line this way. This would be your horizontal reflection. If it reflects over a line this way, this is your vertical reflections. And then your horizontal glide reflections. Let me see if I can draw this, just so we can see it. So this would be like how we're getting our horizontal glide reflections. Is like it would keep going like that. I guess they're technically not supposed to be touching, but just pretend I didn't make them touching. So basically that would be your glide reflections there. Okay. Jumping down. 8. So this is looking at the different rows on the sweater. So they show you which row of the sweater we're looking at. So in 8, it's technically the top row, but they've shown you a little picture of it here. And it wants to know A, B, C, or D, which one goes with that row of the sweater. No. Yep, C. So it doesn't go top to bottom, but it does go left to right. So that one would be C, which is the TRVG. And then what about 10? So that would be the next row on the sweater.
Vertical reflection.
Yep, A, TRHVG. So that would be all of them. 12, we have a bunch of triangles side by side. So which one, or what would this one be? Translation, what else?
Glide with
Horizontal and glide. So if we took the triangles and we cut them in half, this top of the triangle would be the same as the bottom, like the way that you see it in your book. And then it's also the glide reflection as well. 14. These ones kind of look like trapezoids that are, well, kind of look like they're all going different ways. Translation, and what else?
Horizontal glide
rotation.
Just a rotation, yep. So if we took that and we rotated it 180 degrees, but the top and bottoms don't line up, so that's why it's not any, or side to side, so that's why it's not a reflection on this one. 22. So on to the next page now. Definitely a translation. Should see a pattern here. So if we rotated it 180 degrees, would it look like this like the one beside it?
Yes. Wait.
Nope. The long part of the, I'm going to call it a check mark. The long part. So it's like this, and then it's like this. Oops, I made that too big. But if it was a rotation, it would look like that.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I
Oh,
know
then
the
it's
question
the,
on 18. I don't understand how it gets rotated onto itself again.
Because it's like, so if I took this and I rotated it around 180 degrees, it would match up with
Wait,
this
you
one.
have to rotate part of it. I thought you had to rotate the whole picture.
No, because some of it's just repeated. So that's what's like hard with like with 10. Yeah, it's not like the whole. Well, even if you did it in groups of 2, because usually these are done in groups of 2, but obviously they have an odd number here. But even then, you're usually looking at either one individual thing or you're looking at pairs if they're things that like look like they go like side by side together. All right, so what else are we on 22? What? No, say it again. It is G. So it is a horizontal glide reflection. All right, I'm going to do 26 through 30 just so you can kind of get a visual of what these things would look like if you were like to draw them yourself. So they tell us to use, basically they like make a big L like this. And we're going to use that to do the following different translations. So 26 is a TR. So that means that it is rotated 180 degrees. Now I can do this, however, if I want to maybe take up a little bit less space, I could draw it like this instead for the first one. And then for the rotation part, I would rotate it 180 degrees so it would then look like an upright L. And then I could repeat it. Obviously, not drawn to scale here.
Just before.
Yeah, or I can also have, if I wanted to do it a little bit differently, I mean, I could do it this way and then it's like repeated over here. The other option is I could also come up here and do it this way. And then it's like a rotation and a reflection of the whole thing. Or wait. Hold on. This is a rotation. No, it does need to go the other way. Disregard what I said. That's rotation. R keeps throwing me off for rotation and reflection. So it'd be like that. So again, it's getting rotated and it's translated over. 28 is TG. So this one is a translation and a glide reflection. So this could be something like this. So that would take care of that, and then I could obviously repeat it. That was not good. So like that. And then up like that again. And then 30 is TRVG. So this one, I'm going to start with my L this way, and then I could, I'm going to have a vertical reflection, so I'm probably going to do it like as like a set of 2, so I can have it come through this way, like that. And then I can basically repeat it over here, reflected. So I get a rotation. I can rotate it, or I can technically take and rotate the entire thing around, or, well, yeah. And then I can reflect it vertically, side to side. And then also it's a glide reflection there, and it's obviously translated. All of them have to be translated. All right, and then just 2 more. 32, so you're going to need to flip the page to look at this pattern, because again, I definitely can't draw that. I don't even know if I could, like, put my paper over top and copy it. So again, we're just doing the same thing. We're saying which Frieze patterns these are. So what would 32 be?
Oh, heck's not, boy.
That one would be just... So you have to look and see if it's exactly even.
Is it THG?
So it's just T. I don't know. If you look really close at the flowers are not symmetric. Because the rows, I can't draw, so I'm not even going to try. But if you look, it's like the rows, it has pieces that like swoop down and around, but on this side it doesn't like match. So if you were to try to reflect it over or like fold it in half, it wouldn't match like side to side. So we couldn't do, that's why this one would only be T. What about 34?
It's the
That's TR. I know there's
yes.
TR.
Yep, that one is just T and R. I can't reflect it, and it's not a glide. It's just rotated. All right. Don't stress too much over this section. It's like one question for the quiz and probably about the same on the test.
Your mom said this is not history. See, she said you have to study on your own.
What's the difference between a horizontal glide reflection and a line reflection?
Can I get this back?
The horizontal line, huh?
Can I use the restroom after you're done?
Yeah. The horizontal line reflection is going to be like a top to bottom. The horizontal glide is going to be top to bottom, but it's also like shifted over. If you go back and look at some of the stuff we were doing in 7.5, they actually talk about glide reflections. Although, had I realized it, we probably would have spent a little bit more time on it. But it shows you with some of the like Tetris-y type pieces, it kind of like shows you a little bit of like what's going on with that. But technically, a glide reflection is a transformation in which every point P is mapped onto a point P double prime by the following steps. So it's a translation and then a reflection. So it's basically you're looking for, it's been shifted over and then it's been reflected horizontally over the line is what you're looking for. All right, so just a few problems here. 3, 5, 9, 11, 13, 15, 21,
21.
and 23. So if you want to do some where you're trying to draw them, you're welcome to jump down and do some of that. But basically, like the one in the quiz review is music notes. That is the Frieze pattern. And I would expect it to be something relatively similar for the test and the quiz. So anyways, like I said, don't stress too much over this stuff. This isn't like the most important thing, but I did want to briefly cover it. So
Can I use a